Welcome. Today's topic is cloud computing. As we have been watching a couple of videos, we will also reveal the topic with some of the real-time examples so that you can relate it easily and you can understand the topic quicker than what you would do otherwise. So what is cloud computing? Let's go back to an example. In the days where villages used to have, like every house in the village used to have a water well. Right? Do you remember those days? So where every household will go to their own well and then pump up the water with a hand bucket and a rope and then use it. Imagine today what's happening. In a village or city or a town, you have a water supply from the local government water body. So you have in your home a tap, no more a well, a water well. So where is the water coming from? It's not coming from your local area, that is your house. It's not coming from your local body. It is coming from a centralized place where the water is being pumped to your home. So you open the tap, water is available. You don't want water, you stop the valve, so the tap is closed and the water is stopped. So use when you need it, otherwise don't. And you pay for what you have consumed. Right? So this is one example. Then how do you relate this? Yes. So the water well in your house is your local on-premise in-house infrastructure that you have. Whereas the local government body supplying water to your home and likewise to many houses is a cloud water supply. So for the easier understanding, for the fun sake, right? So the clouds, they give you water, they give you rain. So it doesn't select one person and gives rain. Right? It gives rain in a particular locality, wherever the cloud is, right? So in that place the rain comes. So reverse it. Imagine as if you are, you put in a straw or a water pipe to the cloud and getting the water. So you get the water. Whenever you want to stop it, stop your tap's valve. Otherwise, you get the water. So likewise, the cloud computing is, there is a central body, right? There is a provider, like in this case cloud or the local government water body. So they are the providers and they are supplying the water to you. So that's how you can relate from moving your infrastructure to somebody using someone else's infrastructure and pay for your usage. Well, so this is a not detailed description of cloud computing, but this helps you understand how the infrastructure used to be and how it is today in our day-to-day life. Now let's move on to the software world of cloud computing. What is computing? Typically, computing includes your processing and memory power. So today, the cloud computing loosely used. It includes much more than just processing power and memory. It includes various things. It not only includes the processing power and memory, like the core infrastructure, but also all other layers in the software gamut. Where when you use processing power and memory and storage and databases and web servers and applications like your CRM or Word document, or Excel document, and many other applications. Right? So this includes a set of technologies, including hardware, to the software and end user application. All these are being offered by a central body, a centralized provider. So that provider will offer you these services. Now, to put it on the board, what you have is, so you have processing power, memory, storage. If you consider this as your infrastructure, right? So infrastructure. And then on top of it, what you typically do in your, let's say you bought you assembled a CPU at your home. Now these are the basic things that you go to the store and buy. On top of it, you would also buy operating system. You may also buy a database. You buy some networking software. So you bought the hardware, the infrastructure, and you bought the platform so that you can develop applications or you can use them. So this part is your platform. On top of it, either somebody else builds an application which your enterprise can use. Some developer like you builds a word processor, so you can use the word application. Somebody like you also builds a mail application. You can also use that. So this is your actual software that you use as an end user or an enterprise. Now some of the enterprises would go only take this service. So when they only obtain this service, they don't need to worry about buying in-house hardware. They don't need to worry about license fees, support fees, about the platform, the operating systems or databases and etc. They are only worried or concerned about the application that they want to use. Well, so if I want to use Word, the Office suite, I would only pay for Office suite and use it. If I want to use the CRM application, I would only pay for CRM application and use it. Now, this is called software as a service. This is called platform as a service. This is called infrastructure as a service. You get it? Right? So in these three ways, the cloud technologies or the cloud computing is being offered as a service. Now, let's move on and understand a little more. So, infrastructure as a service. Oh yes, I am not interested in the end software as a service, but rather I don't want to have my in-house processor or memory. I don't want to buy any hardware. But I have my own custom operating system which I want to install or deploy on top of the hardware. So I would only go buy the plan that provides only infrastructure. So these are infrastructure as a service providers. The Google Compute Engine, right? The Microsoft Azure platform, or the Amazon EC2 Elastic Computing. So these are the hardware providers, the infrastructure providers. So that when you go and just use the infrastructure as a service, you would go and subscribe to infrastructure of many providers. These are the top providers that I have mentioned, but there are hundreds of providers available. Now likewise, you not only want to use hardware, you also don't want to deal with any of the networking softwares or platform softwares. You want it to be pre-deployed by the provider. You would give them the specifications. Okay, I want this Linux OS with this support and this capacity. So everywhere, we haven't talked about capacity yet. Yes, so we will also mention the capacity that you want to use. So you would pay for that capacity that you will be using it for. So there, you will go ahead and use it. So this is where these top vendors will come up with their own PaaS solutions, PaaS services. When you don't want to deal with any of these, you are interested in the end user application like Salesforce, like Office suite or mail application. So there you would only go and subscribe to that particular service. You are not concerned about what hardware are they using, what software are they using behind, what OS it is being developed on, or what database are they using. You are not concerned about it. You are concerned about only your end user application that you want to use. Today in your phones, the Gmail, for example. So the Gmail, do you think any of the Gmail data is stored on your device? No. Right? The application, Gmail application, is being rendered to you as a software as a service. All the data is being stored on the Google servers. All the routing protocols and all the software, all the platform is being offered by Google. So you are using the software as a service, the Gmail application, which is free. Well, so that gives you a basic introduction about cloud computing and the different services that we have offloaded from in-house to a centralized place. So every vendor, every provider will come with their own set of technologies, their own set of way of doing things. And then you would go and subscribe based on the cost, based on the scalability, based on performance. So there are other attributes that we'll continue to discuss in the upcoming videos. So I hope this gave you a brief introduction about cloud computing. Thank you for watching. For more information, go to vsdevelopers.io.